The following podcast has been brought to you by Audible.com. Sign up now using the URL audibletrial.com/TTV to get a free audiobook of your choosing. We recommend Brick by Brick, How LEGO Rewrote the Rules of Innovation and Conquered the Global Toy Industry. You may recognize this as one of the sources we use in our show, BIONICLE Autopsy. Remember, that's audibletrial.com/TTV. Enjoy the show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
Sync.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the TTV Podcast, episode 185.
Mardi Gras.
It's going pretty swell, Meso.
It's going great, Meso. It's going fantastic.
Good.
Why is it you never asked us how Mardi Gras went?
It didn't go. In fact, it was so lackluster and stupid in my area this year, I protested by not taking any video.
You protested. Did you go on the official Mardi Gras Facebook page and dislike it?
I wrote them a strongly worded complaint post on Facebook. I was like, yes, you guys are awful people. No,
what? Wow.
Keep it down out there.
What an activist, Meso.
I'll take things Meso never did for 1,200, please.
I'm trying to... Meso was like, keep it down out there. I'm trying to grind GTA to get a yacht. Shut up.
That sounds right.
Ouch!
Yeah, that is exactly right.
Ripperoni.
Ripperoni Risa.
How's
My yacht's more important than your entertainment.
how's it been going, you guys?
Meso, you already asked this question. You've asked this now already. Twice.
It's like Meso's... It's like Meso's weather, you know?
He just really wants to know what's going on, man.
How's it going, guys?
Yeah, I don't really appreciate you prying into my life, Meso.
Meso's like that one family member you come home every day to see and they're like, how's school? Or how's work? And you just go, fine.
It was school, it was work. What do you expect from me?
I actually was like that when I was younger. It's like,
Gross.
What did you do?
How was your day? How's your day, Meso? Okay.
You're like...
and then you proceed to walk upstairs and cry in your bedroom.
Wow. I give answers.
You're like the
that
creepy
a lot,
uncle
but
I
it's
never
not
want to see. It's a family reunion.
Whoa.
Wow.
Dude.
Anyway. Awkward.
Okay then. Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get them
Alright.
plugs out of the way.
Uncle Meso.
Oh wait, no, our names out of the way.
No, we
Plugs.
shouldn't get
What
the
are you
plugs
gonna
out of the
get
way.
plugs?
LJ,
Guys.
is this like the first episode you've ever been on, LJ? What's going on? You
Welcome
professional
to the
piece
pilot.
of crud.
Meso.
Professional.
Improfessional.
Professional.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Unprofessional.
I'm
Whatever.
Meso.
I'm Barteran.
I'm Eljay.
I'm Venom.
I'm Viper.
I'm Takuma.
I'm XX Trooper.
And once again, this is TTV episode 185.
And I'm not on the
also
name list.
known as the Journey to One Edition. Yeah.
Wait.
What's that?
Singing edition.
First
It
we look at our
is.
regularly
It's a
scheduled
really terrible
plugs
Lego
out
animated
of the-
show.
It's a nice
that just
commercial.
premiered.
It's fun.
It's a nice commercial.
Dude,
You're not wrong.
The best commercial we've gotten in years.
Made me buy it, man.
You're not wrong about that. It was quite a good commercial. But first, plugs.
Oh
Yeah, go
plugs.
to vessel.com. You can watch this podcast for free on Monday as it's been released. We usually record our episodes on Saturday, so that's just like a 2-day gap between recording and release, and it's up on Vessel for free to access right now. Vessel.com/the TTV channel. Also, while you're there, feel free to check out the rest of our content for early access. It's only $3 a month, price of a pencil, and you can access not only all of our content, but all of the other creators' content for early access.
Including
it's a
Russian
great deal.
Badger.
Yeah, including like the Nostalgia Critic and Rhett and Link and Linus Tech Tips. I've been watching a lot of him recently.
I've been watching him for the longest time.
Yeah,
It's
really,
amazing.
really cool. And you get to interact with all these guys using the Vessel threads as well, so it's pretty cool.
Vessel's
Yeah,
like the
man.
safety bunker of video hosting websites because everybody's fleeing
Pretty
there
good.
before like the Armageddon of YouTube.
Yeah, Armageddon, it's bound to happen eventually.
The
Yep.
YouTube war.
Not
It's
to
like
throw
our
off
Fallout
the
bunker.
plugs, but didn't YouTube just get some sort of new team dedicated to fixing those problems or something? I don't
Yeah, they're trying to announce they're going to fix it. I'm not sure how well they're going to do because we have been getting more and more copyright claims
I was
every
just
freaking
about to ask
day.
about that.
It's getting ridiculous now.
TTV is dying.
just to inform the fans, I don't know, I guess YouTube didn't like that we were complaining about YouTube in the last podcast episode or something. Because before we were getting copyright claims in like really ancient episodes because of our own music that we made.
Yeah.
So
way
like
back when.
we could dispute it, but it's like, well, that's a lot of work for a lot of episodes that probably aren't going to get any views anyway. So it's like, what's the point? However, now, for whatever reason, there's been an influx of copyright claims on recent videos. And not just the podcast, but all kinds of videos.
Top 10s
from like
and news videos specifically.
Top 10s, news, podcasts, all kinds of stuff. I know I saw one for a newscast that was old, but whatever. But yeah, no, it's like it's ridiculous. It's starting to really, really tick me off.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Wow.
Tell me about it.
Calm down.
and it's clearly auto claiming too, which is why it's really annoying.
It's really not like an active person going.
It's not somebody out
like
to
that.
get us.
No,
Right.
No,
it's
it's
absolutely
just
it
stupid
is-
integrated system that YouTube made.
And it's funny too because we said this like 2 podcasts ago. We said if that's gonna happen, it's gonna be automated.
Yeah.
We're the future, man.
It's getting consistently worse, and it is making me nervous.
Donkulous.
use?
Indeed.
WTFU, man.
Hey,
But yeah, back to the plugs though. Yeah, definitely check out Vessel.com if you want to support us, support the show, help us keep making videos just like this one. Vessel's the best place to do it. Even if you don't pay for early access, your view on Vessel still counts a lot more toward or against your view on YouTube. So if you're watching us in Vessel, more likely to help us. And it's really, really great for everybody around because we get to make more videos for everybody to enjoy and entertain people. And it's great.
Indeed.
Also, it helps towards things like Brick Fair, am I right?
Oh,
Yeah.
We've got a pretty cool announcement on that front. So
But we got some pretty nice
Well,
things
it
to talk
depends on
about
who
today.
actually would care.
I think some people would care. Some people would
I
certainly
think
care.
every time
I
something
don't
like this
even care.
happens, we're going to announce it. We're going to talk about it. Ven, what's going on?
Oh yeah, so what's going on? Well, I had a nice breakfast. And,
What did you eat?
This is the third time we've asked this question.
How's it going, Vin?
oh, hey. No, so
Get good.
as of yesterday, I am officially clocked in to go to Virginia this August. I bought my plane tickets and everything, so
Yeah,
that's
so
gonna be a thing.
Ven,
what that means for you guys as the audience is that me, it's Var, Meso, Eljay, Kahi, and now Vin are all locked in for Brick Fair this year at August. So
Yep.
you guys can head to Brick Fair. Ooh, it's gonna be fun.
Yep.
Yep.
also
got
Ven,
5 of us
Fun,
going.
fun, fun,
there,
fun,
there are 2
fun.
things I'd like to mention. First of all, Ven, clocked in is some of my trigger words. And Brick Fair Virginia is going to be taking place this year in Chantilly, Virginia. It's going to be a ranged event between August 3rd to August 7th. However, the public days are only the 6th and the 7th. That's a Saturday and a Sunday.
Oh, dude, guys, we should invite some fans to go see Suicide Squad with us.
Oh, yeah, so we're all gonna... Suicide Squad releases the week we're there, so we're all gonna see it. So we now invite you to come out
Oh,
and
that's
see it
one of
with
my
us.
trigger words.
That would be so awesome. What
God.
if we filled up a
We're
theater
gonna have to
room?
get there super early to like get the seat.
Yeah.
Like I'm
But
talking like
even
half
still.
an hour early, but yeah, that would be awesome.
I mean, you can pre-book tickets.
Oh, I know. And
So,
usually,
I mean,
whenever
we
I
just
go
do
to
that.
my local theater, like so long as
Whoa,
I get
it's, like,
there early in
raining really hard
advance,
right now.
I've like never worried about tickets. I just get them when I'm there, and I get there super early. It's all good. But, yeah, it sounds awesome.
Yeah, if you aren't going to register for the entire event, which again is the 3rd to the 7th, then definitely come in on either Saturday and a Sunday and see us there. We're going to be there. It's going to be absolutely awesome. You're going to see all sorts of people from the community and a bunch of really great mocks.
Yeah,
It'll
there'll
be
be
a
tons of
great
different
time.
people. People from Easy Power, people from different websites around
Hero
the board.
Bricks.
So it'll be really cool.
Kevin
yeah,
Hero
Goodwill
Bricks.
from Lego.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. And like LJ said, we're gonna be there for a whole week. So even if you can't make it to the actual convention itself, if you're in the Chantilly, Virginia area, we'll be around somewhere.
I'm sure
we're
we'll
planning on
have a
going to
meetup
like a
set
Lego
up.
store and a theater or something. So it'd be cool to hang out.
And listen, if you're there, get pictures with us, please. I want to see that.
Pictures are
online.
always cool.
I'm so down for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be the only time we're gonna hopefully have a large chunk of TTV
Yeah, and
in
then
my area.
LJ will probably show his face.
No, I won't.
He doesn't
Well, you gotta
have
take
that.
pictures, man.
I'm bringing
Do
it
have
up.
one more plug.
Yeah.
Since this is coming out on Monday, would like to go ahead and announce officially. I'm going to make a separate video as well, but go ahead and announce officially that the the Control shirt is now up and available on the TTV store.
Awesome.
So for all you beautiful people who join the message boards to vote on whichever shirt you wanted to see on the store next month, you've done it now. Awesome work. You've picked the Control shirt by Ven. It's really, really cool design.
Awesome. Oh, thanks.
Yeah, and it's like you can get that for $20, and that'll be sold for a whole month until the next month. We'll replace it with something else.
Get hype.
So, yeah.
Perfect timing, too. Like, literally, that was like some of the best timing for a Master Control themed shirt.
Oh, yeah, I know, right?
And also, do remember to vote for the next shirt on the boards, because I'll set up a topic on Monday as well, and you can go there, and everybody who votes will get a special discount on the store page, so that you can get some free shipping for the shirt. So that'll be really nice.
I just had a great idea for another shirt. Oh,
Eljay says,
cool.
Great idea. Everyone buckle in. What's your idea?
When you do that, make sure to also make a post in the topic saying what shirt you vote for, because I need to know who to actually send the code to.
yeah.
Yeah. But yes, go ahead and do that, and it'll be a lot of fun. Buy a shirt if you want. Helps once again support us and help us do a lot of fun things. So yay!
It'll keep you warm.
And boy, I gotta say,
Sure
the
cold.
turnout for voting was incredible. We got a
The turnout
lot.
for shirt purchases was really good as well. I wasn't expecting the Valentine's Day themed shirt to sell very well, but it did pretty good.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, I totally thought it would do well, right? Purple. I know you.
I didn't think it would do well because it was purple.
I mean,
No, I just didn't think it would do well because it was kind of a specific theme that not a lot of people would probably buy.
I mean,
I think it looks
I
cute and unique. I
like it.
I
I bought it, so.
I have to have confidence in it. I helped make it.
Anyway, what are we going to be talking about today, guys?
I don't know. It's like
Nothing important.
As cool as it is to be here with you guys, I mean, like, it's kind of a dead week. We don't really have much to talk about.
There's that
Yeah.
stupid Bionicle Netflix show that came out.
No, there's
Did
not.
you guys watch that?
Important. I think it is pretty important.
Thank you for stomping all over my joke.
Wait, there was a joke.
Come on,
in there?
guys. Don't you know
I'm
we're not
sorry,
gonna get
Meso, but the delivery just.
we're
could
not
use some
getting
work.
any more
Did you ever
Netflix
plan
Bionicle
to-
anything until July, and we're only getting one then anyway.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
So stupid. Okay, Journey to One.
Yes. So
It was
Bionicle Journey to One came out.
awesome.
Yeah, it was
I liked Journey to One.
It was pretty good.
As
It was
so
so
good.
good.
On Friday, March 4th, Bionicle the Journey to One came out. We got a surprise 12-minute prologue in addition to the 2 episodes which we knew were coming out. And before anyone asks in the comments, the next 2 are in July. So in this podcast, we're going to be talking about the first 2.5, I guess, that we've gotten for Journey to One. And spoiler warning abound. Obviously, if you have not seen them, it may be in your best interest to go and see them.
Yeah, and
Because
real
you can
fast.
grab a Netflix free trial if you really don't actually have Netflix.
Yeah, but before we jump into it, one more thing. If we catch you spreading around pirated links to Journey to One, links to the episodes that aren't on Netflix,
We gonna get you.
yeah, we treat those as leaks, and you will be punished. So don't do that.
You will
Reason being, we are really trying to make this show a success because, honestly speaking, it's the best shot G2 has to make a lasting impact right now. So
And I mean-
everybody should go support it.
It's really good too. It's
Any view
done a
you
great
don't
job.
I like
watch
it.
on Netflix
Yeah.
will take away from a view that they get. So keep that in mind. But yeah, let's talk about this.
To be fair, I don't actually know how Netflix handles their statistics and what generates the money.
I
'Cause-
don't-
Well, I know it generates the money, but I wonder how they actually disperse that.
It was interesting because I read something somewhat recently. They never released their statistics publicly at all for any of their shows, any of their original shows. So like Daredevil, Orange Is the New Black, Journey to One. They never released that because they don't like to set a public precedent for how well a
Right.
show is doing.
Yeah.
And it's interesting reasoning. So we're never going to know how well this is done unless, I guess, Bionicle ends right now.
We'll know when it gets
Yeah.
canceled if it does.
And we'll know if it gets a second season.
Yeah, there you
exactly.
go. So let's start off with the prologue. Start small, work our way up.
Okay.
Okay.
Loved it.
Gotta
Loved it.
say,
Yeah, I liked the prologue as well.
some
Thought it
people
was
may
boring.
think I'm.
I really
I
liked
thought
it.
it was boring.
Some people may think I'm crazy, but what else is new? May as well jump right in. The prologue was my favorite part of Journey to One.
Wow.
Now, the funny thing is, this is
You
really
have some
great.
really low standards.
No, Ven. Trust me. This is really great because Meso spent the entirety of 2015 criticizing every single pixel of the online animations.
Rightfully so.
I don't agree,
I
but
stand by everything I said. However, it must be said what LEGO has done here is quite ingenious. There's no sense, like most people have already made the connection, but on the off chance you haven't yet, think about it with me here. So the 2015 animations were used to recap the story in the format of Narmoto telling a story to Protector, Okoten, not Protector, but like the children of Okoto. He's telling a campfire story. Well, the common interpretation for the 2015 animations was that they were a story being told by a narrator, which would explain the one voice actor. This isn't news. This was a common theory way back
Well,
when.
no. This is not even a theory. Merlin Mann confirmed this in our interview.
And guess
said
who
that was
thought
the
of it
intention.
first? Moi. No, anyway.
That was the intention of the animation, was that it was being told like a story.
Don't recall this.
GG.
Yeah,
Meso.
that was in our interview.
Well, hey, yeah. It's good to finally have this confirmed because when you confirmed again, I guess.
Again.
Like I don't remember this, or else I would think the community would have actually. I'm gonna go fact check this right now.
To be completely fair, I don't remember it either. But hey, Merlin Man, if you're listening, we love you, man. You're
I don't remember which interview it
In
was.
that case,
but-
that takes away a good bit of.
I mean, even if you did not know that from one of our either two interviews with Mr. Man, then it's still really cool.
It's still important because that
guess.
retroactively makes an entire year's worth of animations better in hindsight, if you look at it from that perspective, because all the little inconsistencies and quirks that people did not like about the animations make sense when viewed from that lens. The one voice actor, golly, not having a female voice actor, the condensed, shortened, kind of abridged version of the story.
And told by like a living sentient being who could probably skew a couple of details.
Yes.
Exactly.
You know?
And somebody
Like,
who's
know,
trying to,
and
like,
know and know the
over-dramatize
names
stuff.
of some of the villains, like Skull Grinder or something.
Exactly.
Yes.
That line, even though like it still doesn't make a lot of sense because they said it in the book too. For their like it was for Skull Basher and Skull Grinder. You can interpret that one line where he's like they call him Skull Grinder in a better way if he's trying to like hype it up for the kids.
Yeah,
and
scared.
like
Yeah,
make
exactly.
it super
That's
dramatic,
another
like tell a
thing.
campfire story.
That's another thing, by the way. We did get a little bit of world building as well. Okotens is the official way to say that. So we can no longer say like villagers like
Or
because that's
Okotians.
like yeah.
Rip
so it is
Okotians.
Okotens.
The Oak Oceans will live forevermore in the hearts and souls of the fandom.
So Meso's done. No.
Okotens. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
well.
Prologue
Yeah,
is
I
great. I liked it. I understand a lot of the criticism is that it's basically a clip show similar to that one episode
Which
of
it
the
is.
animations.
Let's be fair.
It is.
But
But the thing to remember about the prologue is that it was never actually like promised to us or anything. It's literally just like 10 minutes of extra content we were never supposed to really have.
Just to do like a little
Yeah.
quick recap of
It's
everything,
a
which,
treat.
I think is cool.
Yeah, to do a
And-
recap and pay homage to the 2015 story as well as the 2015 animations that
I mean,
a lot
it
of
was-
people that are going to be watching this probably haven't actually seen.
Yeah, it was necessary.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really cool. It was a really clever way of kind of reusing footage that otherwise would have basically gone to waste.
Yeah,
Yep.
and the thing is,
Well,
a lot of
also
people have
enriching the
criticized
story.
it because the two animation styles conflict. You have the
Yes.
3D animation on 2D backgrounds, and then you have the 2D.
Yep.
But it still works.
I don't agree with that at all because it's like every time there's been a story in like any kind of like movie or show, it's
Yeah, they
usually
usually
animated
change
in a
up the
different
style
style.
completely.
Exactly. When
So it's
especially
not unheard of.
the two instances that come to mind are Ninjago. Oh, ooh, I made a grave mistake.
Why you do this? What kind
Don't
of fan
compare
are
to
you?
Ninjago.
What kind of fan are you, Eljay? Get out of here!
There's a perfectly good explanation for why I just did that. But Ninjago had a scene kind of like that when they were talking about the Great Destroyer. I think that's what his name was. And Legend of Korra.
I don't remember
because
no
they.
great destroy.
Well, yeah, when
And
Yeah, I was actually thinking about Avatar too.
yeah.
Legend of Korra and Ruby
Yeah, Ruby
and
does it
even
too.
the Harry Potter movies.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it still
It's a
works.
common thing.
I liked that because it really gave the animations a lot more character, more than they already had, because it's being told as a story like an old-timey
Pretty
story.
cool.
it was neat.
Yeah, my problem with it is more
Retroactive
personal
cool factor.
than it is like objective. Like objectively, I agree, it's a good episode, it's necessary, this, that, blah, 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 blah. But personally, I wanted more. I didn't want to see the animations again. I wanted like a genuine recap of 2015 with like the actual Toa's original forms. I wanted to see them upgrade. I wanted this, that, and the other thing. I didn't want like a campfire story that just showed off, like literally the entire episode was just like reused footage.
A campfire clip show with reused footage, and then the Toa getting upgraded out of nowhere.
That wasn't my preference.
I do understand.
I
understand.
I was watching that episode with my friends, and they were all getting bored, and I was like, you know what's funny, guys? I've literally seen pretty much everything in this episode already.
And they were like, wow, you're cool.
And they're like,
I don't know.
why are we watching this then?
I don't know. It's like, I do understand that. I will say that I'm glad they didn't bother wasting their budget on Journey to One on like some crazy 3D animation of a story we had already seen a year ago. I'm glad they reused this footage.
Yeah.
If they were going to do a prologue at all, they should have reused footage. I'm glad they didn't make new footage specifically. for it.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
obviously,
if the
nice.
goal
They
was
had
to
the
have a
money to,
prologue, this
obviously.
was the
I
best way
would
to
love
do
to
it. But I
see
guess
that.
I guess I'm saying like I didn't really want a prologue. I wanted a transition with some brief flashbacks, like how we were saying before. How like we were thinking that the first 2 episodes were going to be like the 2015 designs of the Toa, kind of like going through this transition where they become the 2016 versions.
well,
But instead,
I
we
said
got
that
like this prologue
thinking-
and then this really cheap explanation for them getting new armor. Oh, it was crafted by Ikimu.
Right,
Now
but
they
I mean,
look
like-
sexy.
that idea was also part of the context of the story as well. Like, I wasn't sure like what the context was towards them actually changing forms. I figured it would be a big thing like in G1 where they had like to go
Yeah,
through
that's
this
what I
big
figured,
process
too.
of changing,
more like
but
Hero
that wasn't
Factory.
the case. Yeah, it was
They
more like
just
Hero
get new
Factory.
armor.
So it's like, in that case, I think the way they executed it was fine. If there was going to be like a big explanation for it, then sure, I would have preferred to see that journey towards.
I mean, I would say
evolving.
that the protodermis thing was a pretty big explanation because they had just got through like beating the final boss.
Yeah,
of
but that's-
2002.
I mean,
think-
that
and then-
exactly is why that was a big explanation.
Yeah, I think that's what Far's saying. Instead of a big event, it's just kind of a thing that can happen off screen. And it's not like we weren't expecting either, because we saw some of the Uniter armor in the final episode of the online animations. So we expected it.
Yeah,
it
that
makes
was like
sense.
Oh, did
the
we
armor
really?
sitting in like Akimu's toolbox. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay.
So,
I
and
can
of
see
course
where
that was
this
an
is
Easter
going.
egg, but it makes perfect sense. He can make masks, he's got a hammer, he's got a forge, he can make other things.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. It's
I
just,
will
it's
say
not what I wanted.
The
man. It's not what I wanted.
outlook, the outlook of where you're coming from is something that has been shared across the community, but not necessarily about the upgrades, but about like the creatures. But we'll get to that like in a few minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
you're
I'm not
not
trying to say
crazy.
the episode was genuinely bad because this is. I'm speaking from the perspective of a person who wanted the Tobmata to be in Mask of Light. You know,
yeah. When
where I just wanted more.
when
I
Ven
wanted
mentioned
something
that
different.
to me, it made perfect sense. I knew
And like
exactly
real
what-
talk, like yeah, in a perfect world where like Bionicle is just doing great and they had the budget to do an extremely long show, would I have liked to see like 2015's story replicated in the 3D style? Definitely. Like the Lost fight in 3D would have been great. But like in this limited world where we have to like pick and choose what we get, I'm glad they like put all the time into the 2016 story.
Yeah. So
If it had to come down to that.
Now, speaking of that story, man, the next 2 episodes are great.
real quickly, a couple of points of clarification.
Okay.
We had a discussion with some of our staff members, our moderators,
Gotta throw
about
them
a
under
day
the
or
bus,
so ago.
Eljay.
Huh?
No, nothing going.
Thanks.
Go on.
So anyway, we were talking to them about it, and one of them had a couple of complaints about the show, and one of them was that there wasn't a clear frame of reference for how long afterwards this took place, like this prologue, like the campfire story. To him, it seemed as though they beat Skullgrinder, and then boom, Narmoto's telling a story around a campfire, and
Yeah.
that's not the impression I got. A lot of indications suggest that it takes place a few weeks to at least a month.
Yeah, like
after.
a good while
the,
after.
the important missing link here, for people that may be confused, if you have not read Book 2, Revenge of the Skull Spiders, you should totally do that, because it does fill in the blanks as far as like how people get to the city
Yeah,
and like whatnot.
yeah. So I
Because,
definitely,
yeah.
recommend looking at that. The
It does
other
make
thing
sense.
is, some people started to try and rile up the community like, oh no, we have 3 episodes. Netflix says it's 3. And Lego said we were getting 4. Well, we're only getting 1 in July. That's not true. We are getting 2 in July. Lego, like, an hour or so after that started happening, tweeted out officially saying 2 more in July. So we
Yeah,
are
they even
on
posted on
Facebook,
Facebook.
tweet,
Oh,
yeah.
Wow, Meso. Okay, you know what, dude?
Sorry, man. I'm just.
Like
No, shut up.
A bunch of paranoia and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like the Red Scare, except BIONICLE.
People
The
are
one
nervous.
scare.
Wow.
Plastic
Journey to one
scare.
scare.
So
Okay.
that's all. I've said my piece.
Prologue was cool. It feels weird, like, saying that I like the prologue the most out of all the episodes, but, like, it was the one that left the strongest impression on me.
Wow, really?
I don't know.
You're
It was
you're
like-
really
that's
born.
right.
I
It was
walked away
that
and I
for
was
me,
like,
too.
all I can think about was like, this was ingenious how they pulled this off, and it made something good out of something that was kind of lackluster, and they couldn't have to do this at all. They just did it out of the kindness of their hearts. The other episodes were good, and I did like them, but
They did it
They
out of the
didn't-
kindness of their hearts. No, they did it to give all the little kids who don't pay attention to anything else like we do, so that they have some context
They
going
didn't have
into
to
the
do
other
a
episodes.
prologue. They could have just done a text scroll, like Star Wars scroll, not scroll. I guess scroll. It's the worst,
You think
but, like,
kids are gonna read a text scroll?
people do in Star Wars?
You'd be surprised. I never read it in Star Wars when I was a kid.
Fair enough, I guess.
Yeah, no, I'm
But-
pretty sure this wasn't for the fans or anything like that. I think this is just because it was a necessary thing.
Yeah.
in
That's
order
literally why they
tell-
had to add an announcer to the opening scroll for Star Wars Clone Wars.
It's
Because
literally why.
they knew the kids weren't going to actually read the scroll.
I mean, was
Yep.
there one in Force Awakens?
It's also literally why they
Yeah, but The
repeat-
Force Awakens isn't a kids' film.
It's also literally why they repeat the 6 regions in the first episode like freaking 5 times.
Region of Fire. Yeah,
There's
I really
fire, water, ice, earth, stone, jungle, fire, water, ice, earth.
I mean, that's no different than every time they did it.
It was hilarious because, again, I was watching these episodes with my friends, and we were like, oh, here we go again with the roll call. And we were laughing.
Yeah,
I wonder what's going to be next. Oh, ice? Yup, called it ice.
Yup.
So that was funny.
What was the first episode called? Quest for Unity?
Yeah. Quest
Okay.
for Unity.
Quest for
the search for the search for Unity or one.
Yes, search for one. That was a little
Search for
strange.
one.
If you're gonna bother to
What
like
does that
put in a
mean?
reference to the title card, you may as well actually make it the title, not like change one word. And yeah, what does that mean?
What, Journey to One?
Yeah,
What is the one?
The one mask.
One mask.
The one hole, like everyone's
I always
one.
assumed yes. It
What?
was some vague,
Ultimate Unity. Yeah, it works like that in different languages, and it works in Norwegian.
like real talk. Yeah, I assumed it was
Yeah.
a reference to unity. How like the prophecy of heroes says the Torah must be united, but not one. But like this is the journey to get to that one, like supreme unity, united against all
Exactly,
odds.
exactly.
Oh, okay.
As
One
one.
plus one plus one plus one plus one plus one does not equal 6 in BIONICLE. It equals 1.
No, that's not what there's. Just no.
It actually equals like 11,111.
Indeed.
Can you shut up?
I love how you tried to make that joke, but you still missed a 1. There's like 5
Dang,
ones.
that was
11.
Dang it.
So
Okay,
terrible.
No,
1,011,000.
no, it's
Stop!
111,000.
You missed out Bahatu because he's not one.
Anyway, yeah. Quest for Unity is good. This episode, a common thing that I'm seeing online is like, okay, well, the pacing was a little off.
Oh yeah,
wish
the
to-
pacing bugged me a
People
lot.
Yeah.
say that they moved through the creatures too fast, but my counterpoint to that is like, I don't think if they had put more time into the hunt for the creatures, it would have necessarily enriched the plot of the story. It would have just come off as being repetitive. Like, if this was a show that had a longer budget and more episodes, they could have very easily done, like, okay, so
Yeah.
2 creatures an episode. We're gonna do
Yeah.
the first 11 minutes for Tahu, the second 11 minutes for Kopaka, and Umarak interferes every time and tries to get
See-
the creature, but then he's foiled at every turn, and they can do that 6 times, but they didn't really need
See,
to.
and then it's just too repetitive then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But see, the issue with that, I do understand the criticism though, because like I do remember like watching it, and then like we're like, okay, Akimu tells the Toa to go find the creatures, and then literally the next scene they found the creatures. It's like,
Yeah.
wow,
Okay, yeah, that
really
was
fast.
that was a
So
little
much
dumb.
for that journey.
Yeah, that was fast.
And I gotta say though,
Yeah.
for the overall series at the moment, the prologue I kind of feel helps with the pacing because today I rewatched the 2 episodes, sans the prologue, and it kind of abruptly begins. So
Yeah, like
the
skull villains
prologue-
are attacking. Oh no, beat him. Okay, move
Yeah.
on.
Am I okay, am I
prologue
the only one
definitely
it
feeds
kind of felt like a video game in like
Yeah,
the first
it was
5?
like that.
Use your
I mean, it
elemental
looks like a video
powers.
game, yeah.
It was like
Yeah, tutorial.
leveled up.
All the
Yeah.
exposition.
Yeah.
Press A to double jump.
Bionicle mask control on for iOS right now.
Oh, is it right? Oh, dude,
It's
I
of course
totally
the
forgot
art
about
style
that.
helped with that,
I'm
too.
gonna download that right
Yeah,
now.
that is true. Yeah, their art
Okay,
style was
can I
definitely
just say
indicative of that.
animation is absolutely phenomenal.
Okay,
That's probably the best
Yeah.
part of it.
No,
This show looks good.
It looks so cool. That is definitely
It
my
looks
favorite
so-
part about it. Is
Put
the
all
visual
the
design.
budget in the characters. It's really nice.
I really do like the animation. I think it's an interesting and unique style. There's one little thing that kind of bugs me about it.
Is it the
Just
voices?
One thing. No, it's not. No, actually, I
I
think
actually
the voices
liked
are
the
fine.
voices. It was a bit
No, the voices
uncanny
are fine.
at first, but
I'm
I
talking
really
about the
started to
actual
like it.
animation, just the looks of everything. So my problem is, now this is pretty obvious. All the environments, they look nice. They look beautiful. They're clean. They're they're crisp. They're simple. But they still look great, and clean and simple.
Yeah.
But they still look great anyway. So my problem is the Toa. The Toa are kind of dirty. And like I guess I understand, like, these are warriors, they've been through this, that, and the other thing, but they look a little too dirty for the rest of the environment. Like, you think dirt would look dirtier than them, but it doesn't.
That's a good point, I guess. Yeah.
I
Like
think
they have like their armor's all chipped and kind of looks like all
Worn.
torn and like
sole
every
virtue of
single
the art
area,
style,
and
yeah.
it looks like Halo Reach armor. It doesn't look bad or anything. It just, I don't think it goes well with the surroundings.
I guess
like,
I
why does
kinda
everything look cleaner than them? Why does everything look a little bit more simple than them? Well, I mean, I know why everything looks more simple than them, because obviously the focus isn't on the environment, it's on the Toa, but still.
Toa is
I don't
more
know.
interesting, IMO, so I'd choose that over
Yeah.
the background.
Yeah, I don't know. Speaking of which,
It didn't
Viper,
really bug me.
you mentioned the voice actors. And
I wanted to talk about the backgrounds.
Okay, fine. What do you think about the backgrounds?
They're pretty
The only
chill.
thing I wanted to say in response to you then is that didn't really bug me much. I will say that the one time that there was like a point in the show where I was just like, the difference between the backgrounds and the Toa themselves was really, really jarring. Was, I think, in the second episode when they're rushing to the maze, and they're all racing and stuff.
Yeah.
And there was this brief scene where Liwa turns around and pulls up this vine wall,
Yeah.
and that wall looked terrible.
That was probably the worst part of the whole show visually.
that effect
Yeah.
was the
You know,
worst
it's funny,
visual
I thought
effect
the
in
same
the show.
thing. But
Likewise.
And I don't even know why they bothered doing it, because it didn't do anything.
Cut
It just cut right through it.
that whole scene was a little weird in general.
I like that scene.
It's probably my
It was
favorite
just
scene
kind
of
of
the
like,
show.
I don't know.
It was a little overdone, but I feel like it was a great use of the. It was a nice break from the action that allowed the Toa to showcase all their powers and also have some
And
funny
also, like, kinda, like-
slapstick comedy.
Yeah, and have a little fun, but it seemed really adolescent for the Toa.
I did notice that too, though. Like the weird, the weird, almost photoshopped vines.
Yeah,
that was
it was,
just odd. So,
it was such a weird
yeah,
effect.
there's a lot of
like
moments like that
pretty
where I'm just
sketchy.
like, that these different styles don't really look all that great together, but for the most part, I think it's pulled off really well. And I think what would help, honestly, is if they just didn't look so torn up. Like, they look a little too torn up. Like, maybe if they just got rid of a couple of scratches here and there, polish them up a little bit, it would look a lot better.
Nah.
Perhaps I didn't really bother me all that much personally. But
Nah, it was
I
just a little
can't
thing I
understand
started to
you're
notice
already,
as I
like-
started to rewatch it.
there's already a visual dissonance between like the character models in the background, so I can't understand what you're saying. Like, the more detail you put onto the character models, the more distracting it could potentially be in comparison to the rest of the show. But that didn't bother me that much.
Nah, that didn't bother me either. Especially with Liwa in the jungle, I thought he meshed quite well with his surroundings.
Ooh, yeah.
So.
Oh yeah,
Jungle's
Liwa
good.
in the jungle looked fine.
Leave
we-
it in the jungle.
Oh, no, we did. Okay, never mind.
Liwa in the jungle. He swings. Ah,
I've got a
dang
big
it! I
thing
screwed
I
it
wanna
up.
from
I
the
screwed it up.
vine.
I screwed it
got
up.
a
I was
big
gonna
thing
say
I wanna
swings
talk
from vine to
about,
vine. There
in
we go.
regards to the creatures in Umarak, I've got a big thing I want to talk about, but it'll probably take a while. So, anybody else want to talk about anything before we get there?
Kind
Have
of,
any
but
impact? Go for it.
I mean-
you go first.
I just kind of want to talk about the voices. but
Oh yeah,
that's
I
it.
guess we should do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just real quick.
Voices in the entire community, they're probably the most polarizing part.
Yeah,
the
I
entire
think they
show.
would be, and I don't necessarily think that's because of the voice actors. Because full
It's
disclaimer,
not. People have explicitly said that it's not.
while wait, what?
It's the voice filters.
It's not the voice actors. It's the voice filters, and it's also
Yeah.
the dialogue.
Yeah, the filters and the scripting.
At some point, though, I think it's because of the lack of music in the background, which makes it sound kind of awkward.
Oh,
Yeah,
actually,
the audio
that's a good
mixing in this
point.
is a little
Little
Yeah,
fun.
weird.
sometimes
Didn't
it's
even
just
think
like,
about
hey, okay. It's like, what?
Yeah, it is kind of weird at times. But right out the gate, my favorite two voices are Liwa and Pohatu, which
Wait,
is really
did
good.
you say
because-
Liwa? That's very surprising.
I mean, listen.
I'm just saying.
It's no surprise, and it's no secret to anyone.
At all?
I'm the one true heir to the Liwa throne. But the guy who voiced Liwa was absolutely phenomenal. I think he did.
He was a lot better.
Did you
than
pick him
the
yourself?
trailers everybody was a lot better than the trailers made him out
Yes,
to be.
I
honestly.
think the guy that did Liwa was really great. And we were watching the episodes. Liwa in this iteration, he uses a lot of improper English. Like he says, you and me's and
You got
ain't.
compared to Jar Jar Binks.
Okay, that is a stupid
You and me is
comparison.
gonna be good friends. Like you and me.
Ooh, Tahu, you some big one.
Jesus.
But it's like it's kind of weird because he almost has a country twang to him, and he also uses a lot of old timey improper English like ain't, like I ain't gonna lose. And
Umarak, you so got no shadows now. Meso gonna beat you. Meso gonna win.
Jar Jar.
Oh my god.
well, thanks.
This is awful.
But
I'm so
really,
sorry.
while I really liked Liwa in this entire thing. I'm glad they gave him a lot of focus. And hey, guys, Mangosteen confirmed. Am I right?
No, come on. No.
What?
I wasn't the first to say it.
Yeah, I was.
What?
Yeah. There's a
this is-
scene
How
in.
could you?
There are two scenes in Journey to One. First, where Liwa is like, "I'm in the jungle all by myself with no one following me," and he's got the stupid shadow traps, and he kind of distracts him by throwing this fruit, and it's kind of a maroonish color, a dark maroonish color, and we see Liwa pick it and throw it, and everyone in the call, because we sync viewed it, we're like, "Oh, Mangosteen, there we go," and then he gets buried by a whole stinking pile of them. So
Yeah, it did look like mangosteen. Like, if it was a bit more textured and like mixed with like a pineapple or something, it would look like mangosteen.
yeah, and even Kahi said, "Yeah, that kind of looks like one." So that was kind of funny. All in all, any scene Liwa was in, I thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah, Liwa had a pretty good voice. Some of the lines were awkward. That's not a fault on the voice acting or anything, but that is something I noticed.
Yeah,
It was, the writing could use a little work.
and the filter,
But the
filter was an
voices,
issue.
I'm really impressed with. Even Umarak.
They did good.
Umarak
Yeah, I was about to say, the one voice
surprised me.
that I was really surprised with actually liking, because I didn't think I would, based on the trailer, was Umarak. His voice... It's weird because in the trailer, they decided to choose the one scene of Umarak where he's not being contained, and like instead he's laughing like a maniacal like idiot. So it's like they chose like the worst impression of Umarak to put into the trailer. First of all,
That dialogue sounds different than every other bit of dialogue he has.
Yeah,
it's
seriously.
crazy because like his actual voice, his actual lines, and Umarak himself as a character was far more reserved, more contained, and a lot more not necessarily brooding, but just contained, I guess is the word I would use. It's just like he just seemed more threatening, and his voice did a great job of expressing that without sounding too crazy psychomaniacal like he was in the trailer.
Yeah.
So I was really happy with Umarak. And, oh man, that shadow scene where he's
I
fighting
love
Lewa,
the shadow thing.
that
Oh my
was
God.
so cool.
Yeah.
I loved that.
I'm gonna be honest. There is my all-time favorite Bionicle Gen 1 Gen 2 fight scene is Lewa versus Onua. Lewa versus Umarak takes second place. That was a really cool fight where like Umarak he's popping out of the shadows and like headbutting
Yeah, I
Lewa.
love that.
That
I love
was
that
so
he has
cool
that
and
ability.
unexpected.
Yeah,
I like the
it was
fact that
unexpected
his antlers aren't just ornamental.
Yeah, he actually
Right,
utilizes
yeah.
them.
And it's like it completely. Someone mentioned this on the boards, but like it completely makes sense for Umarak too to be able to just like kind of shift between shadows like that because he's a hunter, right? He's got the bow. He can just go up to the tree like he did in the show and like fire away at some animal or something,
That
or
rhymed.
shoot down to below underneath the bushes or something. It's like it makes a lot of sense.
And he also has spawn eggs from Minecraft in his bow. Yeah, he pointed out.
Yeah,
he can, like
seriously.
spawn creatures.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Umarak's got some
That
pretty
was,
cool
yeah.
and really unexpected
It was a
abilities.
Yeah,
little
that's
odd,
really
but
cool.
I like
still
him.
cool, nonetheless.
I love how he like targeted them. He
Very
like kind of
unique.
poked around like for weak spots in the tower.
Yeah. And he
Yeah,
found
like-
them
yeah.
because behind is a scrub.
He was
Yeah.
actually like calculating and
He's
like
actually quite,
And it did work.
intelligent.
and it worked. Yeah.
Yeah, and this
was
is really
refreshing.
this is a great argument for why we need more sentient villains in Bionicle.
Yes.
Because we saw here Umarak, while he is working for Makuta, he is not working as a slave to Makuta. He is
Well-
being yeah, well, yes. Well,
Is he
He's
the
got his
now?
own methods to getting the job done.
the
Not yet.
thing is, Umarak in the beginning at least, he's a hunter, but he's contracted by Makuta to help out.
Yeah, you can tell him what to do, but you can't tell him how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was
It's
definitely
basically
really
Boba
cool.
Fett, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
That's so cool.
And
Except
it is a little sad. Like Umarak,
better.
he's a really cool villain in this, and he did have a lot of good scenes. But like, it really is a testament to like 2015 how he needed more villains like this because Umarak didn't necessarily do all that much. Yet he's already made more of an impression in like this limited
Yeah.
amount of time than
You know-
anybody from 2015.
I went and
Yeah.
bought
Pretty funny.
Umarak because of that, because of seeing him in the
Nice.
Netflix show. Because he just
That's
came
awesome.
out, and it was really cool.
The Netflix show actually kind of makes me want to get Kopaka and Pohatu now.
Oh, I have
cool.
Kopak, and I really, really like him.
Oh, did you put the
Kopaka's
stickers
nice.
on, X?
No, I did not.
You're a wise man.
Interesting.
Indeed, I am.
That Metro Blue chest plate must be like it's the only lifeline.
I hate stickers.
Yeah.
But,
I like
yeah,
the
no, it's-
Lego Friends plate thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the swords.
It was refreshing because like I complained a lot about voices last year, but like at the end of the day, there was not a single voice in the show that I didn't like. I think
Yeah, I
everybody
have to
did their job
agree.
well. There were ones that I didn't necessarily think were the best in the world.
I had
but
trouble
I
telling
don't
some
think
of them
any
apart.
of them. That was
Right.
more
Yeah,
my
I think
That's
it's
what I
because
wanna
of the
talk about.
filter.
I didn't think any of
Yeah.
them were bad.
Stupid voice
but,
filter.
I do want
I
to echo the community a little bit, and like, yeah, it's a lot of the voices are not really similar, but they do sound enough alike that it's easy to confuse them, especially with that stupid voice filter they added onto all the voices.
Kind of
Because it
samey.
brought,
Onua,
it brought out
Tau,
all the exact
Kopaka.
same tones in the voices.
Yeah, for me, Tayo and Kopaka are by far the worst offenders.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell them apart.
And Onua.
Yeah.
Oh, not kind
when-
of, but like whenever he does get a chance to actually say something,
He's not usually saying something at the same time as someone else.
Onua in
Yeah,
this,
that's true.
I kind of got Colossus from Deadpool vibes.
Yeah.
From Onua.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Just
a
a
glue.
smidge.
I really liked how they characterized Anua better than last year. He was cool.
Yeah, he was pretty cool. But yeah, I can definitely understand how a lot of people would be. It would be hard to follow some of the characters, especially with the similar voices, and especially if you're not familiar with the characters too.
Yeah.
That would be kind of hard to figure out. And even then, even if you were familiar with the character personalities are kind of very drastically different than they were in G1.
Yeah.
That's bad.
So it's not necessarily bad. I will say.
Yes, that's the best line of
What am I
the entire series right there.
Oh yeah, that.
The Skull Warriors are encroaching on the.
I will say it does
village.
feel like it
I was
kind of
like,
feels
oh, that
like
does
these
look
new Toa are sort of like a conglomerate of old, different Toa from G1. Where like, I mean, new Lewa kind of reminds me more of Mattel than he did old G1 Lewa. And I don't know, Tahu doesn't really feel like Tahu. Maybe Jowler-esque to me.
Maybe a little
It's
bit
like-
more
They're all
Takuma-y.
very like adolescent versions
Right,
of their older
they're
selves,
not-
sense like Pohatu and Kopaku who
Golly's
just
more
completely
like Holly.
swapped personalities.
Yeah, exactly.
Liwa-
Golly reminds me of Holly more than
Liwa
Golly.
reminded me of Matau a lot.
Yeah.
That's what I just said.
Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah, it's
I
like-
just popped in.
And if you want my opinion, I think that is an intentional thing they have done to try to make the Toa more relatable to the younger audience. Kind of made them act, not so much their personalities different than G1, but more the fact that they act, like Vince said, they act younger. Or
Yeah,
whatever. Makes them a little
That's
more
interesting.
approachable, I guess, to kids, maybe. I
That's
wouldn't know.
another like personal complaint I have, but yeah, it makes sense why they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have an issue with it. I thought it was fine.
Yeah, I didn't really
You
have an
think
issue of it,
everything
but it's
with
definitely
Bionicle
noticeable.
is fine?
Yes. Yes, I do. Okay, well, except for that whole too yet thing, but that's another story.
Yeah, whatever, dude.
Can
Whatever.
can we talk for a few minutes about Umarak and the creatures?
No,
Yeah, I did want to talk about the creatures because we haven't really touched on them that
of course
much.
we
They're
can't.
so cute.
The creatures were awesome.
They were adorable.
They're so cute.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
seriously,
really like the
Every
creatures.
time Tarik was on the screen, I like got all giddy and stuff because he was just so cute. That little walk he had was the most adorable thing in the world.
Wait,
Or
like
when Melon was like first walking up to Kopaka and like his with his big paws.
yeah.
did anyone
See,
else
like,
get a
I feel really bad for Ketar now because, like, he's like Ketar was super adorable because
No.
he's just
Kohatu's
like,
got a keytar, huh?
no, Qatar
Rocking
sucked.
out.
Qatar needs to die. Pohatu
my-
agrees. I agree.
What were you
Dude,
saying,
I-
Takuma?
But he's
anyone
so
else-
cute, man.
yeah, he's really
can't
cute.
die.
It's like, let's unite, and Patu's like, no. And he's like, okay.
The amount of self-awareness you two have is just amazing. Anyway, what were you saying, Takuma?
What?
Oh, was I saying something? It's been so long, I completely forgot. I thought I just had a stammer.
Who's Stammer?
Stammy boy.
I just imagine Viper and X being people that are like moshing in a crowd of people just trying to walk to their destination, just not giving a crap. Just like smacking into everyone they see. They're kind of like completely oblivious to the world around them anyway.
We should do that, X. We should do that as a
sounds
prank.
fun. Let's
Everyone
do it.
loves pranks on
Just
YouTube.
a prank,
I-
bro.
They
Have a game.
Go ahead,
All I
Takuma.
was gonna say is, did anyone else, after they all actually got their creatures, get a Pokemon vibe from it?
Yeah, I mean, I've
Yeah.
always compared it to Pokemon.
I never-
Actually, I got Digimon.
Yeah, all right.
Digimon.
When they're
Digimon.
standing on
Digimon.
that cliffside, you
Same
know,
diff.
and then they have their Digimons in the background. It just
Please.
screams Digimon
Now
to me.
we're
I'm
talking,
sorry.
No.
Yeah,
Please, no.
it was great. No, please,
X,
yes.
We need to have a Digi high five.
Shut
Oh,
up.
I missed. Oh, okay.
Ah, thanks,
No.
man.
I think if there's any more reason to not like Digimon, it's because of LJ.
I barely. It's
Not,
funny.
not
I,
even because
I
of the
barely
show. I
ever
bet the
talk
show
about
is.
it.
I bet the show's like really awesome and everything, but just the way LJ talks about it makes you
I
want to hate
barely
it.
even talk about it. You keep on attacking me every time it comes up.
Because you're annoying about it.
Sorry, Mister Digimon,
Yeah.
Pokemon.
The thing I wanted to say about Umarak and the creatures was like, in a past episode, we had this discussion about Umarak's character bio on BIONICLE.com. And this isn't so much a complaint, it's more just like, I'm confused, and I'm wondering if anybody else has some insights that would make more sense to me. Yeah, so on BIONICLE.com it says that millennia ago, the Shadows gave birth to Umarak when the creatures came into being, whose sole purpose was to hunt down the creatures, to trap and bind them in darkness and drain them of power. So we know that Umarak's been around as long as the creatures, who have been around for millennia,
Whoa.
and
long
he has
time.
been hunting them because it's his sole purpose as
That's
decreed
bad.
by the website. That is bad. Good job, Ben. So my
bad.
question is, why
Why is it taking
why is he
this
just
long?
now? Number one, why is it taking this long? And
There's a
number
lot
two,
of confusing things about this, yeah.
And number two, if he is truly powerful enough to literally wave his hand and send a creature flying towards him onto his back, then why has it taken this long?
And here's another question. If his sole purpose is to drain the creatures of their power, why didn't he do that when he had two creatures literally in his control?
Yeah.
Maybe it takes
Because
time.
it's a kid show.
And BIONICLE.com is a kid's website.
Yeah, like
probably
I don't want
does
to be
take
that
time,
guy that
but,
cries like, "Oh, there's an inconsistency" before we even got like halfway into the year. But I have a gut feeling there may be a bit of a disconnect between the website and the actual story media.
I'm just
in
gonna
terms
go
of,
with the creatures were like in hiding or something until the Toa showed up. And
Yeah,
that's why
I
it's
was gonna
taking this
say
long.
that
Could make
too.
sense.
I guess, but let's be also fair to like our interpretation here. Like, it's not like the show did a great job of actually displaying the creatures as godlike elemental beings, or even that
really.
Umarak was even on the same plane of power.
The
No.
issue with this
Yeah.
is that they didn't go all in. They didn't put all their same chips in the same hat, because they showed it with Mellum. They showed him like really heavily fighting against Kopaka. Like,
I love that scene.
Arcs of energy are just
Yeah,
flailing
Kopaka
all
was
about.
like throwing the ice back at him, and Mellum like knocked it forward, and it was like a push-pull struggle, and then Kopaka just got wrecked.
Yeah, so they really did it with
that was
Mellum.
pretty funny.
However, they did not do it with any of the other creatures. And that's the thing. A lot of people in the community have been saying that Mellum is really overpowered. He's OP. No. They're all like that. It
They're
just
all
hasn't
OP.
shown.
They're all supposed to be OP.
They are supposed to be, yes.
They
Yeah.
personify
Exactly.
the elements even more than the Toa do.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. They're supposed to be able to kick the
Why
Toa's
didn't
butts.
people
Eh,
try
but
taming them then?
that wasn't properly displayed in the show, so it's understandable that you see one creature actually being super powerful, and you're like, well, why is he so overpowered? I thought he's just a little creature.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. He's not just a little creature. But the
Elemental
show doesn't get a good job of telling you that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So
so
That
it's-
being said, I do have another secondary comment about the Umarak thing. Stupid car. Like,
what card?
I'm waiting for this to go away. Leave! I'm trying to talk!
So was I.
Like revving the engine outside.
Literally a car just driving around Meso's house.
I'm just imagining like an RC car doing circles around him right now. Get out of my room!
I'm trying to record a podcast!
I just
I
like
hate
it's just
scorpions!
like Meso's in an isolated house in the middle of nowhere, and someone's just dirt driving around his house.
Anyway, what I was trying to say was, like, I mentioned the Uxar thing about how he was like able to just wave him towards him, and I do have a problem with that scene because, you know, it begs the question that the creature just by himself, so why wasn't he able to do this before now? So, like, but discounting that, if I just brush that aside like it didn't happen, I actually really like what happened in the next episode with Ketar, because Umarak, you could say, okay, well, maybe the creatures have just been in hiding and they can evade him for so long, and the only reason he was actually able to capture one now is because the Toa are around to mess things up. And, like, it kind of glints
That
to the
makes sense.
belief that their inexperience is what's throwing the creatures off.
Right.
But, that doesn't really work because of the Uxar example. But I'm still going
Nah.
to look at it that way because I did actually quite like that development.
And one thing I liked about the creatures too is that I felt like a lot of the personality traits of the creatures themselves was kind of reflected in the Toa itself. I don't know if you guys noticed this. The only Toa that actually had to fight their creatures were the ones that are typically more confrontational to begin with. Kopaka, Tahu, and Pohatu. They were the only ones having trouble, becoming friends with their creatures. Everyone else, no problem at all.
It's actually a
Like,
common
Liwa-
complaint about the show.
Liwa
which I
had,
don't
like-
understand.
Why is that a complaint?
Liwa had like a bit of a issue, but that was more. It seemed
was more
more
playful.
playful than
That was
fighting.
more of his competitiveness.
Right.
Yeah.
That was Uxar being really playful and, kind of batting him around and stuff. I didn't think that was
And
really
cute.
fighting.
Like
so cute.
puppies play fighting.
Right, exactly. And that kind of reflects in Liwa's personality as well. And then Tarik and Anua. Anua is super patient, super wise. Notice how Tarik is the only one who actually walks on two legs.
Yep.
He's the
not
only
in a
one
rush.
He's not in a rush. He's walking on two legs. He's acting wise, smart, and more
He's pretty chill.
human-like than the rest of the creatures.
Yeah.
Tahu
So
had
I-
a big fight,
that
but he
was
got
so
over
cute.
it pretty quickly.
Like,
Tahu got a-
Onu
yeah, he
was
had a
like,
fight, but he got
you know
over
the
it
way
pretty
out
quickly.
of here, and Tarak's like waving his hand.
which kind of
Like signaling, "Come
displays
on."
that while Tahu is sort of brash and kind of impatient, he is still the leader and still responsible because
Can-
he was able to get over his issues faster than Kopaka or Pohatu was, and
That's-
make friends with this creature.
No.
That's
I'd just like to say this one thing because it really bothered me, and I haven't seen much discussion about it. at the point where it's Unua's creature, right? The stone creature. At some point when they're underground, right?
Earth.
No, yeah, but he's standing like past on his own like island or like rock island down underground.
Yeah.
How
yeah.
then they make a bridge to come over, right? How did he get there in the first place?
I mean, he probably buried around. Needed to.
No,
right?
but
He's a
there
creature
was
of Earth.
nothing under there.
It was we
was
can't
a
really
fall.
see that. It
Yeah, we
does
couldn't
look
see
like
that.
it looks like it was a floating island, but actually, if you look closely, the part that's below where Tarik is standing, it's obscured by the ledge that Onua is standing. So my belief is that it actually is like a column that goes down to the ground.
Yeah. Also, keep in mind, once again, we're talking about the elemental creature of Earth who has literally all control over Earth itself. Probably was able to just make that cavern if he wanted to.
So he just pranked him pretty much then.
Basically, yes.
Frank
Trolled him.
Wow.
Look, I got claws.
Because no one suspects the really, really chill guy. Oh, I see the whole thing. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It makes
right?
sense.
It's all part of the character.
It does. Yeah, moving on.
Now, real quick, still regarding the creatures, I noticed that this is going to be a thing, and there's going to be a little bit of confusion over this because it's elementally minded. The Toa, before the creatures, had elemental powers. And we finally got essentially confirmation that the only way they can get elemental powers is with the golden masks of power that they got in 2015.
Yeah.
And if you notice, they're not gold as soon as we hit 2016. Well, those are still the golden masks. They've just been modified and colored differently. Okay, so they have their powers because of their masks.
Are we
And-
positive about that? Was that mentioned?
Yes, because if you notice, after they switch out for the Masks of Unity, and this has been reinforced several times after that point, they don't use elemental powers unless they're united. That's it. So the only way they can access those powers after their Masks of Unity is becoming unified.
I'm not entirely sure if that's actually the case or not.
100% confident that is true.
No, because Pohatu created a big stone slab in order to get across the water.
And I'm immediately disproven. Thank you for that.
Nice.
Pretty sure.
100% sure.
I said I didn't say I was 100% sure. I said I was 100% confident.
You implied it.
I'm just
God.
curious, like, where you got the thing that it's like it was the golden masks reforged and recolored. Was
Because-
that mentioned anywhere?
I mean,
It
that-
does kind of make sense
that
if
was
you're going under
implied.
the assumption that we left off with those masks being destroyed by Grinder, and we see that Akimu was going to repair them.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that he would take because we don't see the golden mask anymore. So like, if he repaired them, well, then where are they?
I think we
Probably on their
technically
faces.
did, in their ending pose in the 2015 animations.
Yeah, that's what I was
That's
thinking
true.
too.
But I mean, I guess so.
it's heavily
Oh, yeah.
implied
You
that
just
was the
reminded me.
case, and it's still really weird though, because
You just reminded me, though. Well, you go first, but I have another
I
plot
mean,
question.
it's still the case. Like they never use their elemental powers outside of being unified, except for that one instance that Takuma mentioned with the stone. And
I'm pretty
Pohatu.
sure there was
does-
more.
Leewood doesn't he utilize a lot of like jungle stuff while fighting Umarak?
I mean,
Yeah, he does.
that's
He does,
before
actually.
that's before getting the mask of unification.
But he's not using
Right.
the Mask of Unification when he's fighting
Exactly.
Umarak.
Yeah, I
the
know
point.
that was.
He's
my
using his
point.
elemental powers without the mask of unification or being
Yeah,
unified.
but he's
That
not
was my
using that. No, I'm
that
just
was
kidding.
my point. That
No,
the
but your point is
Oh,
not.
I see what you're saying.
yeah.
No, wait, no, I don't see what you're saying. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you saying?
Are you? Because I thought your point was that the elemental powers were directly connected to the unification, not the mask of unification.
Yeah, they're directly connected to the unification, but I was also saying,
My head.
But Lewa was not unified during that fight.
I'm trying to get to that far. You keep on interrupting me.
I mean,
I'm saying that the
sure.
masks they had, the normal colored masks, those were their golden masks, and that's how they had control over elements. That's
Bruh.
what I'm saying.
But, like,
My head.
I
Okay,
said,
okay.
I said,
It
I
still
said
doesn't
this
work,
before.
though.
This isn't. I know that.
okay.
I know.
So let's go to my favorite place to get weird story details, the website.
Bionicle Wiki.
The only thing that we have about the golden masks or the regular masks is When the heroic Toa defeated Skullgrinder, they won back Kimu's Mask of Creation, allowing the mask maker to craft again. His first creations in 1,000 years were the 6 Masks of Unity. These masks bestow great powers on the Toa, but most importantly, each Mask of Unity has a spiritual link to one of Okoto's ancient elemental creatures. Following the mask's guidance is the only way to locate the mythical creatures.
So that's a direct contradiction in several different ways.
Yes, that is. And here is what this really boils down to. I think you have more than I do, so feel free to mention them in a moment, but here's my main problem with this is he makes these Masks of Unity, the regular colored Masks of Unity, and they have a connection to the creatures. And using this connection is the only way to find the creatures, but when they find the creatures are guarding golden versions of the masks that Akimu just made that also have a stronger connection to the creatures that allow them to see a maze in a vision that they must go to and also allow them to unite with the creatures.
My head.
What is this?
Turns out Akimu is like messing with these guys. And just
We've got
he is
2 different
Makuta.
kinds of masks with the same designs and different colors and different degrees of connections with the creatures. I'm so... Anyway, what were your contradictions?
So what are we saying about? What are we saying about Gen 1 being confusing?
Seriously, this is like supposed to be the most basic stuff. This is like the integral part of the story. We can't even figure it out.
Masks.
Wow.
No, watch, some 10-year-old hops on the podcast, explains it all to us.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like
that
one
was,
sweeping motion.
And why were the creatures we mentioned they've been hiding. They had to have been hiding because like Umarak can't find them, but like they're protecting these gold versions.
Yeah,
of the
they've been
masks.
sitting in the same spot the whole time. They're not really hiding, huh? You'd think they'd be
Umarak
like
just
on the run,
couldn't
actively
get
avoiding
in? I
Umarak.
don't know.
Maybe Umarak just couldn't be bothered and just been sat on the couch.
Maybe Umarak
with,
is
like,
just a really
some
crappy
Doritos
hunter.
And Mountain Dew.
I
Yeah.
cannot
grinding
think.
in GTA like Meso.
Yo, Umanak.
What if
He's playing
Wow.
Dynasty, the
Gosh.
game.
what if there are like a bunch of different hunters on Okoto? There's a hunters league, and they're all hunters for hire. But Makuta didn't have a lot of cash, so he just hired the cheapest one for years.
That's not Boba Fett.
He went to the
G2 Dark Hunters.
Akoshan phone book and was like,
Okay.
Kota.
Theory time. What if Umarak wasn't powerful enough? We don't know what his relationship with Makuta is like. What if only just now? That's still kind of a stupid idea. Carry on.
It's not that stupid.
You tried.
I did.
But yeah, I
Yes,
don't know.
like-
I was just saying that, like,
Doesn't even
before
matter.
they got, like, the Masks of Unity, they used their powers all the time. And so I thought it was kind of implied that the masks they had right now, with the normal colored ones, were kind of like the golden masks, just kind of reformed and repainted. And then after they got the Masks of Unity, the only way they used powers were with the creatures. But as Takuma correctly pointed out, that is not true.
I cannot. This is gonna be like a thing where the audience will really have to help me out here. I'm trying. I cannot think of any possible scenario that makes this Mask of Unity thing make any sense whatsoever. So I'm really hoping that the books will flesh this out. So, but
Yeah.
feel free to give your theories. I need
Now-
help.
Now, back to the actual show. Boy, it's
Yes.
really good.
Yes,
Episode 2 is my favorite.
the maze was a thing. Like I know
was really short.
A lot of people say it was a little too short, and I can kind of agree. But at the same time,
And this was episode 1,
Episode
right?
2.
Or are you talking about the maze in episode 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little short.
my problem
best
is
thing-
I like that episode 2 had a bit more focus on it.
It did.
But
I
I
knew
don't-
it, I mean, not a new one. Pawatu did get kind of annoying, though.
Yeah.
The thing that threw me off was the fact that they get to the maze, and I look at the maze and I was like, okay, so what's gonna be the reason for the fact that Liwa and Tao can't just fly over the maze?
yeah,
Because
that's what
there
I
was
thought
clearly
as
no
well.
ceiling. And then you get inside, and there's a ceiling. What?
It's because the malls moved.
Oh
yeah, but there
that
was no
could be.
ceiling, and then suddenly they go inside and there's a ceiling.
Maybe it's
Yeah,
like a
she's saying
Venus
It's not like the ceiling
flytrap
just
kind of
appeared
thing.
out of nowhere.
I'm gonna be
I
honest.
think Viper's saying that the walls like reshifted and kind of formed a ceiling, a
You know what I'm
cover over to
thinking?
lock them in.
The Shadow One's fortress. The
Oh
Shadow
my
One is
gosh.
confirmed.
That's it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm done.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, no.
TSO
I am
escaped
going
from
to
Cirrus
challenge
Magna
that.
and built the labyrinth.
Nope.
That's why the Toa remember it. 'Cause it's like
Viper. Hey, Viper. I'm gonna challenge you. Maze of the Great Beans.
What?
Anyway, so back to the point.
Do you not remember that?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
The Maze of the Great Beans in 2009. Matt
Great
knew he was going through the maze.
I
Leave
wasn't
us
around for
alone.
2009.
I don't think many people remember the Valley of the Maze. That's not exactly a memorable
I
point
remember
from
the Shadow One,
Bionicle's.
how scary that
The
guy
Shadow
was.
One. Fine, go on. Continue.
Oh my gosh. Way to derail.
I feel like
Seriously, man.
I feel like my main
come
problem with the
on.
maze wasn't so much its length; it was just in the content of the maze itself. Like there were certainly a lot of traps and whatnot, but it would have been cool to see more variety other than like shifting or falling blocks. I think that was my main thing.
Yeah.
The length I don't really have a problem with. People say it was too short, and I mean, to be fair, if the episodes were longer, I'm sure they could have done more with it. But at the same time, I feel like it did the job it was meant to do. Making it longer would not necessarily have enriched the quality of the episode in some great way. It could have helped, sure, but I think that the point they were trying to sell was fine. It was a trap. It was like to guard the mask. Toa must overcome it with unity, veiled foreshadowing about hints towards their past, and then Umarak with the great attack. Attack. I don't know.
Okay, one thing that kind of confused me a little, like maybe this is just like that part when they had to stand like in that weird circle.
Yeah.
I thought there was going to be some form of trial for each Toa,
Yeah.
but
Instead
then
of
it
like,
just
pressure
turns out,
plates.
oh no, it's not. We just walk
just
down
stand
here
there.
and open the door.
Just stand in the color that looks like you.
Yeah. Like,
Journey to one.
really took some genius to do that.
Yeah, golly, really had to decipher that, huh?
Goodness.
It didn't even work either because Umarak was able to circumvent it. He's not brown. He just had to wear the creature on his back.
He's
That's
not
racist.
brown.
Yeah, you can wonder
unless-
what would
wait.
happen if a creature
had to
jumped
open a
on
store.
a different Toa's back.
That actually. Okay, wait. Hold the show. That.
When a creature loves a toy.
Wait,
They're not
how
allowed
are
to combine
how are the
them.
creatures even able to unite with Umarak?
The piece
They're
of
not allowed to
unification.
combine elements.
The piece of unification.
Thank you, Takuma.
Yep. See that.
That was a good answer.
Do you not read the product placements?
So
Or
I
product,
gotta
not-
say
product
that
descriptions, whatever.
I think in that instance, a Toa would get more than one power because we saw Umarak, unite with Qatar, and then he had the power of stone.
So wouldn't it make more sense for them not to align with their own element? Versatility,
I
yo.
think there was a rule.
But then they wouldn't be able to use their own power then.
No.
Yeah, or
they,
maybe-
they would.
But they can because Pilatu was doing
I
it.
think they were following the rules of you're not allowed to combine more than one element together.
Yeah.
No,
I
you're
was
not
about
allowed
to
to
say.
combine all 6.
Well,
Okay.
no,
No, it's more than one.
It's more than one.
Just anything more than one. She's right.
What?
It's like 6 also
Since
isn't
when?
allowed, but yeah.
It said
it's
right in the
illegal,
show.
Takuma.
law, you're
Sacred
not-
law that
since-
says do not
since
combine
initially.
all of them.
Because
Those
you
are
can,
some great
No.
builds with dual elements.
No.
because you
sacred.
can do it. Umarak did it, but it's illegal. You're not
It's-
supposed to do it.
It's a
forbidden.
sacred law. You cannot combine. more
Maybe
than
they're
one.
even more
They said
powerful
all
with
of
their own
them. I
element.
will fight
Find
that
it.
to the death.
Find
All right.
it. Go look at the legend.
I'm gonna go look at this.
Okay, the legend animation.
God, guys, we don't have time for this.
Yeah, like
All time in the world.
I
The
quite
only thing.
like
Oh, go ahead.
maze. Like no, I was just saying I like the maze. That's all.
The only thing we briefly touched upon it, but I just wanted to point out that the biggest common thread throughout both episodes that I really enjoyed and thought was really funny, or both funny and clever, was Pohatu's just disdain for poor Ketar, and just poor Ketar just being lost and abandoned in every aspect. It was so great. It was like just a great commentary on the community's opinion of Ketar as a whole.
Yeah.
I thought that was really funny. I don't know if they intentionally did that. I don't think. I kind of didn't be giving them too much credit to think that they intentionally did that because it requires a lot of
Research?
research, and just kind of in the know of the community and how that functions. But it was kind of funny how that ended up happening. It's like everybody hates Ketar in real life. Everybody hates Ketar in the show.
Yep.
It was really funny. And poor
Some nice guy
Ketar
on
is.
Noah.
Yeah, poor Qatar made me really sad. His abandonment was like, oh, I feel bad for Qatar now.
I was so happy watching that. It was
Heartless.
It's like a dream come true.
You are a
could you be
heartless
so
little
heartless?
creature.
Oh wait, no copyrighted music.
Yeah. I'll be honest. It was. The main thing is with this. The summer episodes are going to decide how this goes, because the first 2 episodes, they were good, and the plot, what was there, was solid for the most part, inconsistencies aside, but at the same time, it was rather formulaic, only because we already kind of knew how things were going to go at this point. So the episode, it happened pretty much how we expected. You know, Umarak got the mask of control, and then Makuta made him put it on. And then it was, oh no, you are a destroyer. And then it ended.
I have become death.
I don't think
Destroy of worlds.
Makuta made him put it on. I think Umarak was like, you don't control me. It's not a phase. And then he put it on himself and then couldn't control it.
Dude.
Like,
It's not the implication I got, because him putting it on was overlaid with the words, you may be strong, but I am stronger.
well, yeah, because it's Makuta's mask. So Umarak, he puts it on thinking he'll be able to handle it, and he doesn't
Nope.
handle it.
That's not what I got at all. I think it was Makuta.
Yeah,
that
I
got
see.
it.
Makuta controlled him.
Yeah, Makuta controlled him.
I mean, if that... Well, yeah, after he put on the mask. But
It was
no.
a bit, no.
He forced Umarak to put the mask on him.
Yeah, that
That's
that
how it
part
was in the
afterwards
comic
was
as well.
him like
Yeah.
changing into something horrific. Like it was just like that creeped me out. That did like just his movements were like twitchy. I was like, ugh.
That's weird. I think that could have been conveyed better.
Oh, it absolutely could have. That scene sucked. That's probably like the worst part of that episode.
Yeah, that scene was really rushed.
Yeah.
But you know, whatever.
Makuta's voice, like, also, I mentioned earlier, I liked all the voices, and I did. I don't think any of them were necessarily bad, but I will say the new Makuta ain't no lead Takar. That's for sure.
I actually like the new Makuta voice.
Yeah,
I like it, but he's not as
alright.
memorable as lead Takar.
Would have preferred Garmadon's voice, though.
Oh, yes.
Listen, I just like Garmadon's voice.
He's a cool voice actor.
Yeah.
He's really great.
So we got, Umarak has now been mutated into a destroyer.
That was a pretty cool line, though. You are hunter no more. You are my minion. You are my destroyer. That's pretty cool. I liked that.
It's very poetic. Almost a bit of
Yeah.
romance.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
You
They
are
have a
my
complex,
minion, my
abusive
little
relationship
destroyer.
going on.
Great. We got Umarak x Makuta fan fiction coming out now.
Oh, no.
50 Shades of Trans Lime.
Oh, there's like 132 by now.
I kind of want to make that the episode title. Should I make that the episode title?
Probably not. Might be
50
too,
Shades of Lime.
We'll be really, really edgy if we do.
The hashtag Urkuda.
I'm gonna make it the title. 50 Shades of Lime.
On that note,
Yeah. Final thoughts on Journey to One, everyone.
It was good.
I
it was
like
pretty good, man.
Umarak was
Bonfire
really
Red
bad.
Goodbye,
It made me buy him.
Waiting 11, 12, however many, 20 years for.
Yeah, I know. I've wanted a
Yeah,
Bionicle show
this is
since, like,
the best
forever.
15 years.
visual media that we've ever gotten from Bionicle, in my opinion. I think this is eons better than stupid Mask of Light. I think it's far better than Legend of
Although-
Medronui and Web of Shadows.
The one thing those did have over Journey to One is the music.
Yes.
Those
Yes.
definitely had better music. They also did a great job of feeling like a movie. This definitely felt like a TV show. So there is a difference. Those were more cinematic, more epic, I guess, in scope. But I think that this is definitely more enjoyable for me to watch. I would personally prefer watching this over those movies. And I think
I'm about
this
to
is
rewatch it right now.
freaking Legend Reborn is nowhere even close. to
The
this kind of
only
category.
thing that I think maybe this didn't beat was Legends of Metronui, but it's been a while since I've watched that. And last time I watched it, I don't remember liking it all that much, so maybe I should go rewatch that.
Right.
Yeah, I was not big on the movies, so I'm inclined to agree with you.
Yeah, I think this is really, really awesome. It might not be Minog, because we don't get to
no.
actually interact with it and play around and explore ourselves. But
With
I think
people,
if we're going to be getting any kind of like visual story content that it's not a video game, this is probably the best they can do. I want more of this.
Yeah.
Please, Lego, give us more.
people have been saying, the plot
And we don't
is
just
too
mean what's coming in
simple.
July.
The plot is too simple. The writing is too kid-friendly. There's too much
Meso, stop
slapstick
putting
comedy.
ideas into people's heads.
No, I'm not. I'm like quoting community standards. Like people are saying this.
You're going
and
to put it into other people's heads.
from different perspectives, I can see where you're coming from. But at the same time, what people need to really keep in mind, I think, is that as long as BIONICLE exists, unless something happens in the future where they like sell the rights to somebody, BIONICLE will always be a Lego property. And Lego, at the end of the day, is for kids, mainly.
Yeah.
That is their primary audience. People can be adult fans of it, people can be teen fans of it, but when there's a Lego TV show or movie, odds are they will be trying to appeal to the younger demographic. And I think it bears repeating. Some people tend to forget that. It's perfectly fine for you to watch this and be displeased with it if it's not aimed at you, or if you don't like it. But I do think that necessarily calling it a flaw of the show, to have all this kind of kid-friendly dialogue, the writing that appeals a lot to kids with this all the slapstick comedy
That's
and
bad.
like the Toa acting younger and racing against each other or whatever. You have to understand, at the end of the day, we get really attached to BIONICLE because it's the most serious and lore-driven property Lego has, but it's still Lego. And I think that frame of reference is important. And if you view it from that lens, Journey to One's actually pretty good. So,
But Meso, how does it compare to the Hero Factory animations?
it's not even. HF had more memeable lines. That's about the only thing that HF had.
I don't even know about that, dude.
Right there.
I can see a
Hero
lot
Factory
of
had
great.
more memeable lines.
I can see a lot of
bad.
great GIF memes out of this show, like the one where like Pohatu's trying to hug Ketar or whatever, like really awkwardly shuffling over towards him. That was fantastic. That has to be a meme.
That's
I have a
bad.
GIF request. If a fan would help me
To
out
the
with
master
this,
meme makers out there.
I would be grateful to you forever if somebody would do this for me. Can you GIF the scene where Pohatu like traps Ketar under rubble and then he like turns away from him and like starts walking away and
I just
want to
see
forward?
I want to see like a bunch of pictures where Kopaka's just slapped in front of it going, that's bad. He's like pointing towards like, I don't know, bacon pudding. No, actually that sounds really good. Never mind.
Bacon? No.
Man, I love bacon.
Okay. So,
Bye.
anybody have anything else to say?
Nah, that's
LJ?
pretty much it.
We
You
get
got
it.
anything?
I'm so happy that the show is enjoyable.
Yeah. It's certainly not perfect, but everybody here enjoyed
Of course,
it. So
it's
that
not
is
perfect,
cause for celebration.
but like it's better than I expected it to be. I'm really happy about that.
I loved it. I had a great time
I
watching it.
loved it too. It brought me back to like, you know, watching BIONICLE beforehand. Like, I know
Yeah.
I'm older and the things are different, but it, like, especially the campfire part, like, it
Yep,
really brought me back to when like the Turag used to like tell the stories
Turagi?
about the.
I'm sorry.
He used to,
Taraga.
like when the Turag would like tell the stories about the Toa and everything. I was like,
Definitely.
oh my gosh, it's so.
Yep. Good on you, Lego, and good on you, Volta, the team that made this. We all really enjoyed it.
That's
and we
bad.
are eagerly anticipating the next 2 episodes coming in July. Please, everyone, I beseech you, go watch this if you haven't already. Spread the word. Stir up posts on social media, whether you liked it or didn't like it. Just get people talking about
On
this.
Netflix.
And yes, watch it on Netflix, please. Lego, the only hope, really, I think we need to put all our cards in the Journey to One table. If that's a thing
Put
I
it
can
in
say.
the
It's
table.
a bit of a weird. Put them on the table.
That is the
I was gonna say put the
weirdest
cards in the
metaphor.
basket, but like that wouldn't work. We need
cards
to
in the
put the
hands.
eggs in the basket and the cards on the table.
Blow the cards up
for,
the
like-
Yeah,
boys'
put the hinges in the
hands.
hands.
Journey to One at this point is the best hope that G2 has of making an impact and lasting a while, so everybody please support it. And with that being said, that's pretty much all for today.
Cool.
So I thank you all very much for watching this episode of the TTV Podcast. Share your thoughts on the Journey to One in the comments section below, on the TTV Message Boards at board.ttvpodcast.com or anywhere you want. And be sure to check us out on all our usual plug places, vessel.com/TTV channel, and the store.ttvpodcast.com, and also Audible Trial at audibletrial.com/TTV. And yeah, we'll be back next week for another exciting episode of the TTV Podcast.
And
For
feed
now-
me memes on the message boards.
This
Yes,
episode
make
is
all the
ending.
memes.
That's bad.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you all for watching.
That's
I'm messing
bad.
out.
That was
I'm messing
forced.
out. I'm messing out.
He's messing everybody.
He's Messinak. That's bad.
Shut up! Just shut up! I am going to fire every single one of you idiots! Just shut up!
No, if I fire you
bad.
first! You shut up! You ain't fat! You ain't nothing!
Okay, now that's bad.
This is bad.
His name's Meso.
You know his name, not his story.
I'm Barteran.
I'm Venom.
I'm fine.
I'm Takuma Nuva.
I'm EXX Trooper.
Hey, this is TTV episode 185. Yeah, Junie to one hype. We'll see you all next week.
Thank you. Goodbye.